Cattle prices have very recently traded to levels that they've never seen before on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which has manifested itself in cash prices for producers, very high prices. It's good news for farmers who produce beef cattle. It's good news for farmers who produce any other meats that might compete with beef for our consumption. And probably the long-term outlook is also positive. Prices do cycle back down, and it depends on how far they go, depends on the changes in the supply and demand fundamentals. However, every year the United States participates more and more in a world market, and this is more recently being experienced with beef. The world consumption of beef is improving. It's increasing, particularly in the Pacific Rim nations of China and Japan and Hong Kong and the Koreas. These countries not only have huge populations, but their per capita consumption of beef is increasing. The interesting thing is that with the high price of beef, the first inclination is not to forsake beef, it's to change the type of beef that we eat. And for that reason, in the United States, we are now consuming more hamburger than we are the high-end beef. Also, during the barbecue season during the summer, consumers decide how they spend their dollars. And very seldom are they going to say, I'm not going to grill a steak on the grill. So we can see consumption of beef, even the high-priced beef, increase during the barbecue season during the summer. When prices get real high, consumers tend to shop prices more. And there are great differences in the price of the exact same cut of meat from one store to the other, particularly when they have prices put on one-day later sales and prices put on get me in the store sales. So shopping for prices can greatly improve your prices that you pay for beef. And we might buy that porterhouse steak, just not quite as often. By the time we get to next summer, if those prices are still this high, we've adjusted some of our other spending to create more available cash. There's very little reason for their feed costs to go high. So their revenues from sales can remain high, and their input costs, as it relates to feed at any rate, should remain low.